Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the kickoff of the new and highly anticipated podcast, Kickin Nollege, where every week we'll be talking about all things street culture, whether it's music, lifestyle related, vintage, art. If it's happening in the streets, we're talking about it. All from the confines of Dallas's top sneaker shop, Nollege. And if you don't know about Nollege, now you know. I'm James Barcenas, your local sneaker veterano, along with my guy Lao, not to be mistaken with Kung Lao.
What's up, everybody? We out here wearing sneakers and shit.
And the rest of the Nollege crew, the three owners, Eugene, Christian, and Edgar. Say what's up, boys.
What's good? Coming live from Nollege. What's goody?
You already know what time it is. It's Eugene.
All right, welcome, men, and everybody listening. And let's get cracking. Let's get onto it. We're not in a place that's considered a sneaker mecca. We're not in LA. This ain't New York. I mean, shit, we ain't even in Houston. But we're in Dallas, and we're still the 9th biggest city in the nation. But for some reason, we aren't getting no love when it comes to anything hype or restricted. I mean, we ain't getting sneaker passes for Off-Whites up here. Why? What's happening? What's the beef? It's not like we don't got no money.
Honestly, I don't know why we don't get shit. Shit tends to sell out fast over here. If it's hot, it sells. If it's not, it stays. That's basically the same rule goes around anywhere. It's just Dallas gets no love. I feel like we're a big city. We should get love. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel the same way. So, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in Denver, moved to LA. We were getting we got everything. It was a whole different time, I guess. Moving to Dallas, things are a little strange for me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we don't get it. You boys are from here. You know what I'm saying? Eugene, what's your take on it? What are we lacking in Texas, or not in Texas, but in Dallas, that's just not giving us that love?
I don't think we're lacking anything as consumers. I think we're just slept on as a city. I think if Nike were to actually come out here and do their research, they'd see that we're very big into this shit. Like, there's a very big community of people that fuck with sneakers and just anything hype as a whole. I think once Nike or these brands start paying attention to us, or we make a big enough wave, we'll start getting that love. But until then, it's New York, it's LA, it's Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's depressing, and I'm sure it is for you too, Christian. I mean, Chicago, every time a sneaker pass pops up, you already know it's not us. I mean, that's such a dagger to the heart. How do you feel about that?
I think you just market more in those areas because there's more like famous people and celebrities. So, and more events also, like in the West or East Coast, Midwest, Chicago, LA, Miami. It's like a marketing strategy that, they'll do.
I feel like it's for me personally, I think it's unfair.
No, but I think Christian has a big point there, and I don't think I've ever really realized it, but it's true. There is no celebrities out here in Dallas. Who's a celebrity living in Dallas that's like popping at the moment? There's nobody.
Boosie.
Christian has. I mean, I never really thought about it, but Christian, you got a good ass point there. Like,
yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but let's not pretend like Nike isn't a sportswear brand, and we've got the Cowboys, we've got the Stars, we've got the Mavericks. It's not like we're lacking in those elements. So why aren't we getting that? Why aren't we getting that respect?
I mean, regardless, even if Nike decided to, put Off-Whites out here, they're gonna sell out. There's no other option. I mean, they're gonna sell out, regardless of what shoe they do decide to drop. If we got the Witherspoons or we got some other bullshit, whenever they did drop, it's gonna sell out regardless. But they just don't. They're not aware of the scene that's here. Again, because it's not mainstream here. In New York, it's mainstream. It's cool to be wearing around, some Supreme or Palace or whatever the fuck you're wearing. Same thing in LA. It's cool to wear hype shit, but here in Dallas, nobody really cares.
But see, that leads me to this, right? Yeah. You say that people aren't wearing it here, but
they are.
But yeah. Where are we right now? We're at Nollege, you know what I'm saying? And we'll get into Nollege right now. Why, if there's no scene here, why did you guys decide that it was time to open up shop here? And how did Nollege come about? So to me, clearly, the scene is here because this is popping. It's not you guys aren't making money.
I feel like it was just needed in Dallas. Like you said, it was hard to come by. But then again, I feel like that also comes with, like, as far as Nike's choosing where they want to have it at, I feel like it's all coming down to, like, the influencers. Like, a lot of famous people don't really make the shoe famous. It's more like people who aren't famous as far as like worldwide, but more famous in these niches that we are in. Like as far as sneakers and stuff, you got famous people that are only known within sneakers, and they're mainly live in New York or LA. So as far as that goes, like there's not really too many people like that in Dallas, but you do have people who are trying to be like that, and stores like this do come about just off that, and people want to get the shoes as well.
I mean, because look at it, something like this, like, again, to Sean Witherspoon, they're from VA. VA never got shit. And VA has a shoe, which is like a staple to who they are, which is the Sean Witherspoon, you know what I'm saying? And it all started with Round 2, and that's how they got noticed by Nike.
Why Nollege? Why did you start Nollege? Why is it called Nollege? But fill me in on the backstory and how you three came together and how Nollege works as a business.
So, Nollege came about, it wasn't even started through me. I was actually invited to be part of it. At first, it was just Edgar Christian and another friend of ours. And they were doing, for the most part, just vintage. I know Edgar and Christian did, wear the hype wear, but didn't really resell it, from my understanding. And I was doing kicks back then. I was reselling shoes and shit, and a little Supreme here and there. And then, so that came about like that. We started, they invited me, you jumped me in, and I was game.
Jump in, damn, gangship.
And so we started doing that. The name came about. We were really just brainstorming. It was a matter of figuring out a broad name for us that didn't box us into this, space. Because we don't just sell sneakers. We don't just sell hype. We don't just sell vintage. We sell damn near anything. And just like anything, when you think of certain names, you get boxed in. And that was something that we were trying to avoid. At that point in time, I remember DJ Khaled was really popping, and so we kept saying that if you know, you know, saying a lot. And I think maybe Edgar or Christian, I think one of them were talking about like knowledge, but we were like, we can't spell it like that. Like, let's try to figure out another way to spell it that still looks good, but you can still pronounce it, fairly easily. And then college came about, and we're like, okay, it's a simple letter switch, and that's how the name Nollege came about.
Any of you guys go to college?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I dropped out to save the resale game.
You heard?
So Christian, from you ain't saying much, but I need to know why. When you guys got together, you were like, let's make this shop. What told you about Dallas that made you think you can open a store successfully here? There's other shops. We've seen some come and go pretty quickly.
For us, it just started off like me and Negger. It was like a hobby. We would always talk about Jordans and shoes and stuff. And then Negger just brought up the idea like, oh, let's start a store one day. I'm like, let's do it. And it just happened. And then like compared to other stores, I mean, like we try to have more like variety, I guess. So like the hype, the vintage, and the other stuff. So that's how it came about.
So for some of our listeners who don't really know what the shoe game is or what this whole culture is about, you know what I'm saying? This is a hustle game. You can't get the stuff that, people want in Dallas. How do you guys get it? How do you get Supreme? How do you get, Palace? How do you get the Off-Whites and all the good stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because this is a hustler's game. So I'm assuming you boys hustle hard.
I guess that just comes down to like more of who you know and like what you know. So like I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do this by myself. Like to where we at now and where we started from, I wouldn't have done it by myself at all. So like I feel like real life, I feel like Tony Stark assembling the Avengers. So I was like, you know what? Who can I hit up and be like, all right, I need this guy for this. I need this guy for that. I need this guy to do this. Because I know at the end of the game, I'm not gonna be here 24/7 because I can't. But I knew I had homies who were just as dedicated as me, who would put in that time and work. So I guess I kind of like figured like, I got these homies who basically know what they're doing and know how the game is. So like I might as well just put them in and we can start this up together.
Let me add on to that. He brings up a very valid point here. A lot of people think, oh, I can cop Supreme online. I got a bot. I can open a store. Like a store isn't just about buying shit and selling shit. It's a foundation, and like having a good team behind you means the world. Like, believe it or not, people say, yeah, I can do this shit myself. No, you can't. Like, there's so much back end stuff that you guys don't see that it's crazy, but you won't be able to do this shit yourself. I promise you, there's nobody that can do this shit themselves. Like, if you don't have a team, you're lost.
And going off what Edgar said, like, you know, sometimes you guys surround yourself with people like might know more stuff better than you in certain areas. Like Eugene knows more like hype stuff and like, you know, sneakers and like me, and you know, and I focus like on the vintage stuff. So it just depends. Like that helps also. And shout out to Ansh also, because you know he helped us a lot.
It would be working, man. Shout out to
Ansh,
Shout out by Yeet.
Ansh like a walking StockX, like, you know.
If you ain't got a Aunt Shaw, you lost.
For those who don't know, Ansh Shaw is probably one of the biggest resellers in Dallas, and he's small, he's skinny, and he works in knowledge.
Nah. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
He don't work for knowledge. He is knowledge.
He is knowledge. We are knowledge. And that's cool, you know what I'm saying? For me, I appreciate that. For one, I love having the shop here because I'm one of those guys who takes many L's on those release dates because I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel bad about it because 95% of the rest of us don't either. You know what I'm saying? I can't compete with bots.
Yeah, man. I remember checking out these guys like 2 years ago, man. They were in a house where they torn down a wall and they started up a shop in there, man. I remember you had to book an appointment. You know, I remember a Friday night.
An appointment?
You used to have to book appointments, bro. And I remember booking that appointment, coming through, purchasing like a little ASAP Rocky guest collab tee. I mean, it's a grind, bro. And it's like a lot of people just see this as, oh yeah, like Eugene was saying, you could just get a bot and purchase shit online and try to sell it yourself. But it's more than just that. It's you know, creating a space for other people that like this stuff to come in and shop, you know.
So what's popping? You know what I'm saying? You were saying, you know what I'm saying, I guess Dallas doesn't have the celebrities or whatever that attract people to I guess attract brands here. Who, you know, are the people out there right now who are influencing the marketplace? You know what I'm saying? Who is it? Is it Kanye? Is it Drake? You know what I'm saying? Is Sean Witherspoon? Are the influencers local? Who are the guys who are making the plays right now?
Okay, I think like it's in a time where it's not just rappers anymore. So I feel like anybody who's famous can have a following, as long as their following sees what kicks they're rocking. They're probably gonna end up rocking those same kicks. Like as far as it goes, like to me, Kanye made the best business decision marrying the Kardashian family. Cause without him, I don't think the Yeezys would be without them, the whole Kardashian family, Yeezys would not be a success.
Yo, I'm so dead. I really thought you were gonna say the best decision Kanye did was going to Adidas. This one just threw me off. The Kardashians. I mean, you're not lying. They're marketing geniuses. That's phenomenal. I literally was gonna jump out of my seat, but like, what? No, what? You should have stayed with Nike. But
if you would have stayed with Nike, it would have been probably twice as more popular. Yeah.
So I want to add to that. The thing is, like Edgar said at the beginning, we are getting into a time where it isn't just rappers. You know, back then, you know, people, that's who you're looking at. Like, I think now more sports teams and more, you know, athletes are getting into this, but it's still very early on. Like, how many people are actually looking at what's on the Dallas Mavericks players' feet? Like, there's few people out there, and unless you're wearing something crazy, then you're not gonna make that complex. You're not gonna make that hype piece. Like, you gotta be wearing something crazy. People aren't looking at it and being like, oh shit, he got Yeezy 700s on. Like, they're not. It's if you're wearing something crazy, then you'll get on there. But if you're just a regular Dallas Mavericks player, they're not looking at it. In my opinion.
And they gotta be consistent too with like their fits and the shoes they wear, you know, to catch people's attention. So
it's just not the shoe.
They can.
It's just not the shoe.
I mean, you're not lying. Now we got, you know, saying athletes aren't just, you know, they're not just, you know, ball players anymore. I mean, the walk into the stadium is basically a runway now. You see Russell Westbrook, my dude looks crazy, but he leaves fire. You know what I'm saying? You didn't, you know, and it leads me to another thing, like the generation gap. There's guys that like me that were older who have a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? To the younger guys who've never seen Kanye in a Nike, who don't care about that, but they've only seen him in the 350s. But what's the word? What's the word with Kanye, dude? With Ye? What's up with your man, B? Someone talk to me.
Bro, it's just crazy, man. I remember, like, I was 8 years old, man, listening to the college dropout and late registration and shit. I remember listening to that shit. It's like, I always idolized this man because he was the one that got me into rap. He's the man that got me listening to hip hop from the beginning, you know?
Yo, but is Kanye, is he, I mean, is he off his meds? What's up with this dude? What's he doing these days? He's going crazy. You see his tweets?
I think he's not popping right now. Kanye's not feeling it right now because he's not popping. He's not the main topic anymore.
Yeah.
He definitely has some competitors out there, and
He knows that.
yeah, and that's probably what it is. He's just acknowledging it, and he's not feeling it right now. Kanye's always been used since growing up. Kanye's been the biggest thing in the culture that I was in. So
Yeah.
now that he's not, I guess he feels some kind of way.
I think to add on to Edgar's point, that's 100% true. Look at whenever he first moved to Adidas. A little after that, Ultra Boost were a thing, right? They were sitting for the most part. And then Kanye's caught wearing them. Next day, they're sold out. Just like that. Anything that he rocked went crazy. Anything. You know, we go back to Nikes even. Like the Air Max 90s, the Fire Ice. Bro, like them shits were just there. Like, and it's like after he wore them, value went up. And I think it's true what Edgar says. He isn't the, you know, the headliner of every fucking magazine, every fucking website now, and I think that does kind of scare him. I think he's at a point where he's insecure.
What's with this beef though? Because now he's like, I mean, he's always been talking shit to somebody, but this beef with Drake and the whole purple emoji thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is up with your man? Like, he's literally, I mean, he puts up a tweet, storm, and then it's disappeared and it's gone. It's there. It's gone. What's up? You read his shit? You read his tweets online?
I feel it comes back to what Edgar was saying. Like, he's afraid because he's not popping anymore. Now, who's the biggest superstar in the world? That's Drake, right?
Yeah, Drake.
Drake is the biggest superstar in the world. He sells out arenas.
Is it Drake?
It's Drake.
I think it's Drake.
It's Drake.
It's Drake or Travis Scott. For sure.
I mean, Travis is...
Who you got? Who you got, James?
Travis is not bigger than Drake, though.
Man, I'm old, but you can't be asking me these questions. I'm sitting back in the 90s, dude. You don't want to listen to what I have to
Who
say.
you think
is
big?
hotter right now, though, James?
Travis Scott.
And who do you think, Edgar?
Musically or fashionally?
Everything. As overall.
I'm gonna have to go with Travis.
Travis?
What about you, Edgar?
Damn. I say it's a time, man. Like, yeah, I can't pick out of the two.
Yo, but here's my beef, right? Drake is old. Drake is my age. You know what I'm saying? I'm 36. Drake is right here in the same area. Travis is young and he's up and coming. You know what I'm saying? He's cornered a market that took Drake a long time to get to. So for me, if Drake is number one right now, for how long? You know what I'm saying? Until Travis fully takes over. And after Travis, who's up next?
Shit, it's gonna be Travis for a long time, bro. Because that's what we see with music. Like, the reason Kanye was big for so many years is because he was changing music. He was changing the landscape with every album that he came out with. 808s and Heartbreak, that brought on, you know, Drake. And then he did Yeezus, and that brought on the Travis Scotts and shit. You know, and every album he was breakthrough. It was a breakthrough of, you know, the music landscape. And now with Travis Scott, we're seeing that with him. You know, when he dropped this album, it changed the fucking soundscape of music.
Yeah, I like Travis.
I don't know who's after Travis, so that's a good question. Who's after Travis?
No, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. I mean, that's like being back in 05 and saying, damn, who's after Kanye? Like, you know, we didn't know.
You're right. We could always go with Post Malone and his Crocs.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Travis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He voted for Beto.
Yeah.
He supported my guy. You know, fuck Trump. And you know how I feel about Kanye and his red hat. What's up? This guy he's crazy. This is not the same dude who once said George Bush hates black people and what Donald Trump loves them. Stop.
Yeah, bro. I think it just all comes back to just him wanting that popularity, or not even popularity. He just wants the eyes on him, and he knows by him doing stupid shit like that, he's gonna get that.
But what do you think he means when he says, he put out a tweet saying, I'm gonna wear my red hat every time I perform because this hat says you can't tell me what to do as a black man? How do you feel about that? I mean, none of us are black, so we can only speculate. But to me, that don't make no damn sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's just.
I just saw him with the red hat and I kind of fell back. I was like, yo, I need to step back off Kanye for a bit. I wasn't rocking with it, but I guess I wasn't the only one. As you see, that's why the eyes are off of him and he's doing what he's doing now.
So, in my opinion, the whole red hat situation thing, I mean, I guess I understand where he's coming from. I don't agree with him at all, like, whatsoever, because, you know, it's fuck Trump all 2019. But at the end of the day, like, what he's saying, he does firmly believe it, and it does make sense. But to my point, does it have to be the red hat? No, it could be anything else. Like, you put whatever power you want behind whatever item you want. Like, he says that him wearing the red hat makes him feel like Superman. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. But
Or maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe he actually wants to run for president, like he said. And he's trying to get his foot in the door and you know, start connections. You never know. It's probably, you know, deeper than that.
it could be. If we didn't, like, you know, we see it as, you know, he disrespected our race, you know, and so that's why we hate the red hat, you know. And for that reason, that's why we feel some kind of way for it. Again, that red hat could be it could be a blue hat that said, you know, hey. And if he said that's what made him feel like Superman, then that be it. It's just the fact that it's a sign of disrespect.
He's picking in objects that's very hurtful and
Exactly.
disrespectful to a lot of people who he, you know what I'm saying, who support this dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and the whole thing, you want to, you know what I'm saying, you can't be a man of the people and claim all these positive vibes, right? Positive vibes this, positive vibes that, when the dude you're tossing out and supporting is not that man. You can tell me 18 fucking ways that Donald Trump isn't a racist. He may or may not be, but you know what he doesn't like? My people, your people, us, brown people. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate, you know, because motherfucker, what do we do to you except for mow your lawn, keep your hotels running, and you can eat a dick for that. You know what I'm saying? And let's get off this shit. Let's get back to the music. Let's get back to stuff. What are we looking forward to in 2019? Because we got a whole new year. You know what I'm saying? We had a great year last year when it came to hype. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of good stuff we dropped. We got logos. You know what I'm saying? We had off-whites. We had collaborations. We saw the resurgence of Nike. Nike kicked Adidas in the dick hard. Where do we go from here? The off-whites are dead. Not dead, but we're not going to see them anymore. You know what I'm saying? The collaboration is done. What is next? What do we want to see happen?
But is the collection actually the collaboration?
It's just the collection.
I don't think it's dead. I think it's just the silhouettes, the 10 silhouettes.
Right. The 10 silhouettes. That you are correct. But do we want to see more off-white, or will they kill that? You know what I'm saying? Will Nike fall into its own trap and overdo everything?
I think like what you just said, it'll be better if Nike just stops it, but they always have the tendency of just overdoing it. It's not good for them. I don't know why, but they love to do that shit.
Well, it's like with anything, they're gonna try to make as much money as if, you know, that they can. It's just they're gonna milk it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly what Christian said. They're gonna milk it. Look at the Element Reacts. Like, those things had those had a bunch of potential. Like, just the OG drops. Like, and then they just kept, like, you know, all colors are nice. You know, the silhouette's nice. Everything is nice, but it's a fact of how often they're letting it out. You know, space it out a little bit. Like, make people hungry for it. Like, give people some time to kind of digest what they just ate and then move on to the next one versus, yo, I'm full, it's time to eat again.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. They dropped them quick on us, but I like the Element.
They're great. They're a great shoe.
Yo, you know what doesn't get talked about a lot when it comes to the collaborations, though? What they did with Undercover was fucking money.
It's underrated, in my opinion. I don't see too many people talking about it no more, like, after the fact.
At all. I've seen everybody talk about the great collabs of the year and the off-white this and the off-white that, and that's great. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, the one with Undercover was hard.
Even the Zoom flies with Undercover were hard.
Let's just go on the record and say I love Undercover. So, like, all the collabs were hard. But we can even go back further than the Element Reacts. We can even say they killed the Rochers. I remember when the Rochers were popping and the Calyptos were hard. I remember those going for crazy numbers. It's just Nike just has a history of milking the fuck out of shit. Don't know why.
They did it remember when they were dropping a mid Air Jordan 1 like every fucking day? Like every color possible they made it. It was the most hideous shoe. But, you know, for me, I thought it was like on the end of the one. The end of the one. And then now it's back. But now they're dropping all kinds of colors. They're calling them OGs, but they're not OG colorways. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got, what's the next one coming out? The Turbo Green? That's not, I mean, it looks hard because the leather looks fantastic.
They're killing it with the ones now. Like, there's a lot of hard colorways that released recently this past year. Like, it's super hard.
The Turbo Greens are the ones with like the vintage feel on
Yeah,
them,
that vintage
Those,
look.
those are hard.
Those are nice. Those are
As
nice.
long as they come with new colorways like that.
Consistent, like, hard colorways, and I think it'll be good. But maybe, like, spread them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, because look at it. Didn't we have like 33 ones last year or something like that?
Man, you should have made it 34. I don't know. That's good.
Yeah, I can look back in my closet and be like, man, I probably bought too many ones this year.
Said nobody ever.
Said nobody ever.
Said no one ever. That's the greatest shoe.
But then
ever.
5 Yeezys drop in the period of 6 months, and it's crazy now.
But you know what I do want to talk about is something that happened recently, okay? And this was a big deal. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it's a big deal. Supreme Court ruled that e-commerce sites now have to charge a sales tax. They have to pay sales tax. That means Amazon's already been doing it, but for us, that only really matters because StockX now has to charge another tax. So it's another fee on top of another fee on top of another fee. You know what I'm saying? How do we feel about that? I know how I feel about that, but as a shop, you guys have your own shop. How's that going to work for you guys? Are you happy about this move? Are you disappointed in it? What is it? Because you can't be.
All right, so in my opinion, I don't think it's a huge deal for us, especially where we're at now. I don't think we've been hit with it yet. I don't know when we'll be hit with it. I think I've heard something about like the fourth or third quarter of the year. So I don't think it's something that directly affects us now. I think it will affect us, but I think that effect won't be drastic. You know, even us as a shop, we've been open for about 6 months now. And in those 6 months, we've had X amount of customers. And out of those X amount of customers, even then, we don't have too many people that come in and say, oh, but StockX has it at that. Why that happens, I don't know. I don't know if it's they resonate with us. I don't know if it's they just support us as a business, as people. But in the future, for those people that do use that, oh, but StockX is this, I think it'll just make it easier on them to purchase with us versus StockX. You know,
which is a big deal though, you know what I'm saying? Because now you're no longer the second option, you're the first, because sure, it may only be $10, but we all know deals that go to waste because I don't want to pay $10 more. But now, you know what I'm saying, right now if you buy a shoe on StockX, you're paying whatever that cost is, a processing fee that StockX gets, and then the shipping, right? So you're not. So if you pay $160 for a pair of shoe, you're not getting it for you're getting it for about $189, $188 roughly. Let's call it $190. That's without the sales tax. Add the sales tax on it, it only may be $10. But you guys may have the same shoe in the shop for $165. Sure, they bought it for $164 on StockX, but they're gonna pay $200 to get it now. Where do you think they're gonna go to now? Now that they don't have to wait any longer? You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna cost them $30 cheaper on the fees alone. What up? That's a big deal. I would think do you think it's gonna do well? Is it gonna up your business, or is it really not gonna have any effect?
It might have. Yeah, I think it'll up our business, but not a lot. I think it'll make a difference, but not like a huge difference.
And I mean, we'll put that to the test. We'll figure that out here in the next, couple months or whenever the hell that shit goes.
And if we compete with like StockX prices, and yeah, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I feel like it'll just make us bigger competitors, like as where we are now. Cause I mean, like without the sales tax, we'll probably just be. Is there something I can help you? Oh, the Siri. Oh, nice. Without the sales tax, I feel like we weren't really as competitive as we wanted to be with StockX. But now that they do have to include it, people will probably tend to want to shop here more than they do on StockX. And plus, you get the sneaker here now, so why not buy it here? That's always been my biggest thing. When I buy something, I want it now. So that's what it is.
Maybe people just buy it for the StockX, the little hanging thing to flex on social media.
Maybe you guys should make a little knowledge was to put on your.
To be honest, we never thought about it. We might do that.
All right. So, best release of 2018. Talk to me. Go ahead, Lao. Let's walk down the line.
In my opinion, well, my personal favorite, I'll probably go with the Chicago off-white ones.
That was 2017 though.
Oh, 17. I'm off.
Run that shit back, Turbo.
Alright, let me run that back.
Would you say Union 1?
Nah, not Union ones.
No?
The Air Max 97 off-white with the
Menta?
Yeah, the silver joint symbols.
Ooh.
Them joints go so hard. It was probably one of my favorite off-whites. Top 2 for sure for me.
Edgar?
Damn, I don't know. I would probably say some Undercover Reacts. I would say that, what is it? I forgot what color it is, but that beige, that tan color. I forgot the simple looking one. Let's put it simple. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the light brown shits, them hoes are hard. Those are the best ones to me in my opinion. And plus, I feel like Element React is already the shoe of the year, so with that collab on top, just makes it the shoe of the year.
Yeah.
Lao?
I'm gonna say for me personally is off-white UNCs, just because I was able to get my hands on them. I have them, I wear them. Fucking love the shoe. It's probably one of my favorite this year. What about you, James?
I want to hear James's favorite.
Me, bro, there's too many. I love them all, every one of them. No, for me, honestly, the unions, the red and black joints. That shit was just
Those
so
are hard,
easy,
man.
simple, and super dope. And I got it on the Frenzy app, which I've never hit on ever before, and I got it for retail, so I'm gonna take that. Everything else I had to pay a lot of money for.
So, in my opinion, and it's sad to say this, because all I wear is Adidas, but no Adidas dropped that really like made my spidey senses tingle in 2018. So my number one shoe that dropped in 2018 would probably have to be the Cactus Jack 4s. Again, I don't wear Nike. I do have a pair of Cactus Jacks in my collection. I have a few Nikes in my collection actually. I don't wear them, but I think Cactus Jack 4s are definitely take my top pick. I think the biggest reason is I think the colorway behind it. Being raised in Houston, my childhood at least, I think it touched my soul. It being a Houston Oilers colorway. I love Travis Scott as a artist, as a designer, as a musician, as everything. As a person, he's a dick, and I hate him. But the Force definitely take the number one spot on my list. Oh wait, Travis Scott?
Yeah.
That's a homie. What you mean?
Hey, Travis needs to quit playing and release the Friend and Family 4s.
The purple.
The purple and the is it brown or olive green? Those hoes go so hard.
Nah, nothing's been confirmed on release.
The
It's
purple
still
ones.
in the air, but purple ones are for sure Friends and Fam.
The purple ones.
I just
Though.
hope Travis is listening and he's hearing us, and he do it for the people.
Or just find out a way to dye your current pair and let me know. I'll do it.
Hit him up on the gram at Christian with 17 N's.
All right, and with that being said, we've come to the end of this because I'm hungry, you're hungry, so we're gonna put this to an end. Thank you everybody for listening, and shout out to the team at Knowledge, Eugene, Christian, and Edgar.
Pluckers, if you're hearing this, send us gift cards.
No, sponsor us. That's what we need.
Yeah, we'll take a sponsorship deal too. We promote crazy.
Make sure you check them out on IG at knowledge.tx and follow us at Kickin Nollege on IG, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening.
You heard?
Let's get it.